it takes to outlast all the rest. This is Survivor 50 in the hands of the fans.
Hello and good evening. We've just finished watching the second episode of Survivor 50 in the hands of the fans, titled Therapy Cancel. But here on Super Mario Brothers Podcast, we're just getting warmed up. Whether you're joining us live on YouTube, Twitch, or Facebook, or catching the audio version wherever you get your podcasts, our mission to cover every twist, blindside, meltdown, and masterstroke continues. This season featured the largest cast in U.S. Survivor history, 24 returning players from across 49 seasons, all handpicked by the fans. Well, not all handpicked by the fans, mostly by Jeff Probst. But now, now there was only 22 that remains. Now we're down to 21, and the emotional fallout is already beginning. Now here's a guy who is with it till the end, until the wheels fall off. I'm your host, Dave Mader. Joined with a great panel here. Our resident pro wrestling aficionado, always ready to call the heel turns, the babyface plays, and the tribal theatrics that feel straight out of the squared circle. In the premiere, or a second episode now, I guess, full of big characters and bigger swings. He's already breaking down the booking. Jason R. Phillips, everyone.
Hello. In the hams of the fans is the name of this series, isn't it?
That's right.
Thank you. I couldn't come on last week because it was 3 hours long, and I was asleep. I saw that link go up in the chat, and I closed my eyes and went to sleep.
And then it was the next day.
Yeah, and then it was the next day.
So that begs the question: was it even in the hands of the did we decide on a 3-hour premiere? What the heck?
Yeah, we should have been allowed to vote on that part, I think. Of course, also with us here, he's here for the competitions, the chaos, and the clutch performances. If a challenge is brilliant, he's ranking. If it's a flop, he's calling it out. And where every second counts, he's got the receipts. It's Josh Foster.
Happy to be back, Dave. Happy to be back. Yes, thank you.
Of course, spoilers if you have not seen Survivor 50, episode 1 or 2. We're going to break it all down here. Jason, yeah, we missed you last week. I was talking to Josh yesterday, and we're just like, we covered the premiere in an hour and a half or so after we watched a 3-hour premiere. And Josh and I, we couldn't even cover everything. We could only kind of touch on a few headlines coming out of that premiere. It was we lost Jenna Lewis and we lost Kyle from 48, and another 90 minutes added here again tonight as Savannah becomes our third casualty of the season. It's been a good one so far. I'm enjoying it.
It's almost as long in Survivor in one day for you guys as it takes for us to talk about 1 2-hour movie each week on Hey, Did You See This One? So welcome to the club. This is the Survivor fan. That's supposed to be some sort of cut or dig.
This is where the real fandom is. Yes.
Yes.
Coming out from here. Okay. Where do you start? Is often where I'm left.
We'll start at the beginning of this episode. First of all,
yes.
Something pretty amazing happened. We were eating dinner at the beginning of this episode, and then they decided to have our boy Christian just dump out in his pants, and then kind of just show it, basically censored, mind you. But they really, I was eating pasta with some meat in it, and I was just like, this is not appetizing now.
I was also eating dinner while watching that scene, and it was a turnoff. And then I was like, I don't even know how I'm gonna touch upon this. I was almost afraid to ask Foster about it. I didn't want to trigger him. So it was if you have a reaction.
I don't know what it's again because I'm so privy to the newer seasons and the newer cast members, I guess more so in my watching. Obviously we talked last week about Ozzy and Coach, but I am really appreciating Christian in this season so far. He's so funny, and he's just it's not like he's overdoing it. It's just like he's being himself, and it's just genuinely just fun to watch. And again, like Joe said, he looked like he hurt himself or something.
Yeah, at the end of this tribal council tonight, he falls over. He's like a cartoon character but he's like, if you were going to have like a shipwreck TV show, like Lost, perhaps, you would have a character like Christian. I feel like that's how,
They had a character named like Christian on Lost, and he was the teacher that got blown up by the dynamite.
Yes. Well, that could be his namesake and sort of his spirit animal for this season. We'll see how it's going to go for Christian. Lot to talk about here in this Survivor season. I guess yes. Christian pooping his pants in this episode. The tribal dynamics. I was just getting settled in with these tribes, and then we can find out at the end of our preview, looking into next week, it's a tribe swap. Because I already kind of knew this, like even coming out 2 weeks ago, or because I saw the third episode is called "Did You Vote for a Tribe Swap?" So we're gonna see how that goes. But we're already shaking and baking, if you will.
Did you guys discuss how they did Exile Island for exactly one moment and then never discussed it again, even though they had a couple opportunities to? I expected both vote outs last week and this week to have that thing they used to do for Exile where you get to the end of the little pier and it's like, go this way for another chance at Redemption Island. But they didn't. They were just like, maybe we just sprinkle in a bunch of old gimmicks, and I'm concerned that that's all the Exile Island we're going to see.
You want more, or you're asking for more? That was not enough for you?
I wanted the season to have full redemption rules.
Full redemption rules. Oh, I was kind of excited when, but we did talk about it. If I remember correctly, it's all in a days now, Foster, from last week. But if I recall, we were like, "Is this going to be like a thing they keep doing this season?" I think we kind of asked that question, and I guess our answer this week is no. It seems like that was just a one-time deal. Or maybe they'll smash the hourglass again, because that like a version of Exile Island or whatever did appear on that season with Erica when she won. Right, I smashed the hourglass and changed the course of Survivor history.
Right.
That's always Jaemeel always wants that clip played.
I think Jason was right to say, like, it almost feels like this is one of potentially many blasts from the past, if you will. It would, like, I agree with Jason as well. Like, it would have been really cool to add that to this season. Unfortunately, what we've seen so much that time and time again, like, they have the longer episodes, but they have the smaller cast and the smaller length of episodes for the season. And already we know it's like, I think it's like 12 or 13 episodes this season. And with a bigger cast, I guess I was going into last week being a 3-hour episode, and obviously there was a Kyle had to go, which was a real bummer in my opinion. But it just seemed like a perfect opportunity with the amount of people. It could have been a planned like double vote, right?
Mm-hmm.
So just hold that thought for a second, Foster, because coming in next and rounding out our panel for the evening, on the same feed and a little blurry, if you will, but bringing.
We'll fix it.
Two wildly different lenses. It was already in my script, but he's the pop culture tactician with the Funko stacked to the ceiling and the hot takes ready for tribal. Well, she's all about structure, whether it's the Lego builds or layered alliances. If it's misleading, Jaemeel's dissecting it. If the vote's messy, but the logic is clean, Becky's already mapping the next 3 moves. Together, the Survivor breaking duo of insight and analysis, the newlyweds themselves, Jaemeel and Becky Robinson.
Hi.
Congratulations, guys! Officially.
Thank you.
Congratulations! Yeah, you're both on the podcast since you are now husband and wife.
Yeah.
It was a beautiful wedding. Mere meters away from where I'm sitting now. So it was negative 15 when I walked home, but it was good.
It was really cold.
It was really cold. But warm in our hearts. Welcome you two. We're just breaking down this. Well, I guess the second episode, but for you, Becky, we're catching up with you for the first time, as we are with Jason on this new season of Survivor, Survivor 50. How's it going for you so far?
Good. I'm enjoying it. I'm a little sad to see Joe on the losing team. Again,
Joe's, and they think he's too moral, he's too rigid. They have to play around him.
Yeah.
Sari being like lying on Survivor. Can you believe it? No way.
Who would
Also,
dare?
So we do our fantasy Survivor this season. Normally we pick 2 per tribe. We have to pick 3 with the bigger season. My wife picked Savannah as her MVP. So we had a little bit of a it's going to be okay moment when her MVP went home first. Yeah.
I wasn't.
No.
Who, Savannah? Savannah was Jane and I's draft pick. We were sad to see her go here, but she just won last season, so it was also fine. She'll be okay. But
I had predicted she was going to win 2 seasons in a row last season, and couldn't have been more wrong.
No, when you're picking a past winner in a season like this, like the chances of them going on to repeat feel unlikely. Although that's what Sandra did do. She didn't do it. Like, she was a past winner and she won the All-Star season, right? The Heroes versus Villains, rather. And it can be done, but it's an uphill battle. Dee was the other one I thought about taking. She's a past winner. I could see going, could repeat. Jaemeel says no. He thinks it's going to be Chrissy, because that's who Jaemeel and Becky drafted. But after tonight, guys, I don't think Chrissy is the pick.
No,
So
she's
keep
having
in
some
mind,
issues
We
too.
picked based upon who was available.
Yeah, well, you took her with your first pick, if I recall correctly. Here on just Team Jaemeel and Becky. Let's just pull it up here for the. Yeah, Chrissy was your first pick at number 4. So you unless you wanted Joe. Okay, I know that, but you didn't get Joe because Daryl took Joe at number 1. So I don't know if that was a smart number 1 pick now in retrospect, because I think Joe's got an uphill battle this season to win.
He really
Yeah.
does.
It depends on who's on his tribe.
Well,
Yeah.
who's on his? Well, we'll see. It's all about to swap, but based on like who started off here on this orange. No, this is it. No, that's the purple tribe. No, that's a green tribe. No, I need this one. Yes, the Sela tribe. That they've had the roughest go. Poop in their pantses. Vote 2 vote outs now with Savannah and Jenna Lewis.
You mean evacuation? Or
medical
pants
evacuation from the pants. They got
Do you think they're doing this buff drop immediately because they don't want to have the thing that happens every season where one tribe just gets picked off one by one? Right,
and it was going to be this tribe, and they're like, "No, we don't want to lose." Like Ozzy and Sari, our ratings are going to drop if we lose them too early. If they lose again, it's probably going to be Ozzy, because he got a vote this time. And maybe they could deflect it for another round and get Joe out. But after that, like Orange would really probably go.
Ratings will drop from from Becky's standpoint, because she, despite Joe's struggles, still is on Team Joe.
He's pretty quiet though this season. He's been so far laying low. I find. I
thought Joe and Savannah should have worked together, and they didn't here. Like they had the potential, I think, to go against this side. If they could have,
I don't understand why would Savannah put all of it on Devins, right? If she asked Devins to do something, and it doesn't seem like Devin does anything, wouldn't you just follow up with Joe anyways and confirm it? As opposed to like seemingly like a day and a half later.
That's true. They couldn't get their story straight. I'm concerned that Joe might figure out how to play Survivor this season and halfway through go the other like the complete other direction with his characterization, and this is his heel origin story, and he becomes like how he's the nicest guy ever with Eva and stuff in his season. In this season, he just becomes a ruthless, lying backstabber, and
just a cold, heartless player.
Are you expecting a Jotation?
A Jotation, yeah. I love it, Jaemeel.
I'm not going to give credit for that. That's all Christian.
Yeah, Christian is just so great. Like him. When he's on the hammock and he's like almost like a priest at confession, but also kind of like the devil on his shoulder a little bit too. Like, and then he's like, I'm the therapist Carousel, and he's literally like pushing him in. It's just so good, just so funny.
And that was because they wanted to hide the idol at tribal council. Was that what happened?
They did it. That's why he wiped out at the end. He created a distraction
so that Devons could do that.
Yeah, and he put it.
He didn't hide the idol
between two rocks.
Didn't hide the idol.
He hid the fake piece of paper, the canvas.
He hid the paper, but he didn't.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So that's gonna blow up someone's spot.
So it's gonna blow up somebody's spot. It's a sabotage move.
Yeah, so they think that they have this, I guess, idol. I don't know if they didn't show him make a fake idol and put it inside of it, but he did take that piece of paper and tuck it down. And I think he put the piece of paper in it, I would assume, but maybe not. Maybe it's just as somebody goes lunging for what they think is an idol at tribal. Or nothing comes of it, maybe. Who knows?
I just didn't feel like they did a great job in the episode explaining that to me, or maybe I was just not paying attention enough. That's quite possible.
Kind of like Starfleet Academy last week.
No, that was not a good episode. I don't know why this is not that podcast.
Or me on most episodes of Hey, did you see this one where we're 2 hours in and Steve's like, did you watch this movie? I'm like, yeah. I was working while I was watching it, but
yeah,
I'm excited for tomorrow's episode.
Well, as am I. I'm not. I just didn't.
Foster's
we're not. Jonathan Frakes directed tomorrow's episode. Check that out on Live Long and Podcast. But that's another podcast, another time. Although we're using the Star Trek font tonight here on our titles, which I think looks pretty good. Where were we, guys? This season, season 50.
Christian and Becky.
Christian and Becky, crazy character.
Yes.
I feel Savannah got. I'm sad to lose Savannah tonight. Honestly,
it felt like she didn't really get going in this one. She should have got a number one immediately and kind of just for the sake of kind of starting off the game, right? Go to the old playbook, run it until you feel more confident where you're standing. And she was already behind the 8 ball already.
Too. I was actually confused as to why they voted Savannah off. Even I didn't even really understand how it shifted.
They felt that she had an advantage.
It's because they didn't know what it was. They thought it was an idol maybe, but when she came back, and it's interesting because I was thinking about that after she got voted out, and there's so many different ways that you cause a scene at camp, and there's so many things that can trigger now you're the topic of conversation. And I feel like more often than not, going on a journey has become very detrimental to your game, because more often than not, you have to you probably have to lie about what happened, unless there's nothing to hide, and you can be honest. But again, with someone like Savannah, and again, they didn't see her season obviously because they just in their time just finished it, so it hadn't aired yet. It does not work in her favor, right? Even with Coach having to clear the air at the challenge, it was just that was again and I kind of expressed how I felt about Coach on last week's episode, but it's you're doing more harm than good. You're not helping anybody here. You're not helping yourself, especially, right? So again, the journey, typically, I feel is detrimental to the player because they always do, and most of them do the rock paper scissors and stuff, right? Unless you're desperate and you want to go.
But then Sari also is doing her classic move. I've seen her do this in every season I've watched her play, where she just whispers little nuggets to people and lets them go make their own decisions. But she's ultimately I could see Suri winning this whole thing while being on the chopping block the whole time, because she likes to teeter on that edge.
Well,
Jaemeel
I think she's a very dangerous player. We also recently watched her play a whole season of Big Brother, and she also secretly had her son in the house, and that was a secret. But that's another
Jonathan
matter.
is her son. She has another son.
She has another son.
I don't see Suri winning. Like, I don't know how any person playing Survivor is going to let Suri close to anywhere top 5.
Yeah. Well, that's true too. Yeah.
And she can't win individual immunity to protect herself.
She can't win anything. She said tonight she's never held an advantage.
Well, like, even the way they used her in the challenge tonight, right? Like where they had in the immunity challenge more specifically, that was very physical. And I was like, well, where are they going to put Suri in this? And they had her like when they had to throw the hoop at the end, you know, and you had to swim over and like bring it back if you missed the little target. Well, Suri was just holding on to the ladder. She wasn't even one of the swimmers. She was like participating in the challenge, but she was not.
So she can sit out next week.
Right. She is the least effective challenge threat ever in the history of Survivor. Like
the last time they ran that challenge, the last time Suri played Survivor, they ran a challenge similar to that. And I think it took her like forever to cross just the beam, so much so that Jeff kind of like encouraged her and everyone clapped when she did.
Yep, I remember.
So, like, they were not letting her anywhere near
Not that challenge.
anything of
no.
importance this episode.
No.
Oh, definitely not, you know, and so it's kind of like I thought they should have voted her out last week. Jason, I don't know how you felt about that with or Becky. Like, you know, Jenna, I was like excited to see Jenna play this season, and I was like, if you're gonna vote somebody out, like if you want this Orange Tribe to not lose like they did again here tonight, then like vote out Suri and get and keep Jenna, you know. But I don't know what
I
your
don't think
your
Suri
thoughts.
would have been the reason why they failed this time around. If it was Jenna versus Suri in this episode, I don't think it would have made much difference.
Well, I think it ultimately came down to that, like that was Ozzy, Christian, and Suri, weren't they on like the little like get the through the snake puzzle at the end there? Like, I don't know, you can I would blame most of that on Christian based on that particular challenge, but you know, if they had Jenna, would it have gone differently than if Suri was there? I don't know, maybe not, but like it's just kind of like what's giving you the best chance of survival, because you know, Green Tribe, like they've won both immunities. They haven't had to go to tribal. They haven't had to lose anybody. There are dynamics in their tribes, and there are people on the bottom, but all that's going to not matter very soon because they're going to have to swap everything up. And so there could be all these new dynamics. I hope that they swap it up to 2 tribes, I guess.
Or 4 tribes just go completely crazy.
4 tribes. How many players now? 22? So, no, 21.
Probably
So-
goes back to 3.
Well, I guess they'll stick with 3 tribes of 7 then, because that's something divisible by 21, unless they do some kind of like exile island thing, and you know somebody else is going to join.
Hourglass, come on, let's get an hourglass.
Smash the hourglass and change the course of history.
Yes.
Everything else here. Yeah, well, speaking of those tribe dynamics, we saw a few things here tonight. You know, in terms of what's happening in the purple tribe, the orange tribe, the green tribe, as they still while they still exist. You know, everything with the purple tribe coming off of the medical evacuation of Kyle. How there's this moment. It's in the episode. It was also in the trailer last week. It's the thumbnail for this you know week here. We got Q, who's on the beach. I think who's he talking to in the morning? Somebody from his tribe. I think it might be Colby. I think it's Colby.
It's Colby. Yeah.
He's talking to Colby. He's like, one of us win, bro. And I don't know. I feel like it's a prophetic thing. Sometimes the editors of Survivor, like you can kind of see what they're doing, how they're setting up the story of the season. And I feel like that might be what will go on here. No worries.
I took Q as my MVP for this season, and I had him as MVP in the season that he played, and I'm trying to get redemption. So I hope Q wins. That was my big.
Q's a fun player. Like I think you love him or you don't. I know Foster's not necessarily the biggest fan of Q as a character, but
I will. Sorry to interrupt, Dave, but I will say that again, like in my perspective, him changed this challenge or this episode. I mean, more so because it was more so on the personal side, not necessarily the game side, where it's like, you know, he's working hard, you know, he's got a good work ethic, you know, like he's got a good mentality, like just as a real person. and then calling out Rizzo. I think it was Stephanie and I can't remember the other one. And
Angelina?
Just
Angelina.
Angelina.
He wasn't calling out Stephanie.
And-
Stephanie's one of the people he approves of, I think.
Which is crazy because
and it just and it was
Stephanie's
like,
MAGA and an anti-Semite. So
Yes. But he doesn't think she's lazy.
yeah.
Yes. So I really like that, kind of side, because again, it's obviously, in my opinion, important to the game, but it's separate in terms of like your real life, how you are act as a person and act in real life. Just that, like it was really, I'm not gonna lie, it really bothered me like how Rizzo was like, I'm here to play Survivor. And literally the title of the game is Survivor. Like, you're not there to sit around and store your energy in for each challenge. You know what I mean? Like, you're there to survive, right? And if, so that really kind of rubbed me the wrong way, because just like, how did you make it so far in the last season? And he even said, he's like, I didn't do much at all last season. But it was so apparent when you've got Q and Colby, and they're just like, they're literally calling him out, being like, what are you doing? Like, make an effort. And it looks like this guy's done, like, it was more apparent compared to last season that he's done little to no labor in his entire life. Mm-hmm. Right. And I think Q's right. It's going to show that,
especially with all these people
they don't go
that
to
have
tribal,
already played Survivor and know what to do when it comes to like the camp part, and especially when you have all these old school Survivor players where most of their game was, keeping camp. Like Colby is like gonna strangle him.
Yes.
For it.
Like, and Stephanie's from the old school too. Yeah. And who else we got?
And well, even also to the age gap too, right? Like Colby is very like again, just with the age itself, right? Old school mentality. Even Q, like Rizzo's in his 20s, right? And in real life, that's depicted kind of the culture now. With
Q's only 31.
He's in his 30s. Yeah, but you
30s,
could tell, like, even with that, like again, so maybe they're not with the age between those two, but just in terms of that old school mentality, right? Especially with like you said, like Colby, and I can't remember who else you were saying, but like working, Stephanie. Like that's what they used to do back in the Survivor show, right? But Stephanie, but again, with like how it actually is, like, and like you hear all the, like, again, it does, you could tell like Rizzo has not done any labor in his life. Like, he's just not willing to like put any effort in.
And Q, who's only
like the title of the show is Survivor.
Q's only a few years older than Rizzo, technically, but Q's apparently like a millionaire or something. Like, Q's a very successful guy.
That's why he doesn't appreciate lazy people.
He doesn't appreciate lazy people. That Angelina, lazy.
Well, he worked hard.
She's like a statue.
She's like a statue.
Stands there looking. I like Q a lot in this season though, because he had one of those story arcs where he didn't know what to do, like personality wise, and he kind of crashed out over the dumbest stuff. But by the end of it, he was like, he figured it out. So not only is he good at stuff around camp, him and Genevieve or Holland Log, he also like knows how to interact with people. And I think that's the thing about this season and why Joe is spinning his wheels. Joe learned basically nothing. He came into this trying to do his nice guy shtick, doesn't have an Eva to glom onto. Eva carried him all the way to the end. He couldn't get the job done. And now he doesn't have, I'm sorry to say, now he doesn't have somebody to like team up with in that way, because everybody sees through the code, is like the Joe code, as I kept calling it. And it's unfortunate because the kumbaya thing is not going to happen in this season, because everybody's cut for it. Look at what Coach did last episode. He was like, "Oh, you guys are gonna try to play together. Well, I'm gonna steal the key. So get lost." And that wasn't the way to go about that. Let me just say.
Really, I thought it was the right way to go.
I think in the game of Survivor, it was the right choice, but the way he went about it was sleazy. Because he's Coach, he's a villain, he's a dickhead. Excuse my language.
but Ozzy also is kind of like in Joe mode, in the sense that he
True.
has this expectation of how Survivor is supposed to be played, and expects everyone else to agree to those terms of combat. And right when you have a player like Joe, Rizzo would have done the exact same thing. He would have
Okay,
done the
yeah.
exact same thing. But because Coach has that history of talking about honor, that's why Ozzy doesn't like it.
Mm.
I'm on. Well, okay. So, Becky, I want to give you your chance to respond to Jason's slander against your boy Joe. There, that he has learned nothing, and he is the weakest member of this cast. And it was completely wrong that he went first in our draft. I'm putting some words in his mouth, but
I
accept.
He's definitely. It seems like he's trying to find something that works for him. Because on strength and speed, agility alone, like he's holding his own for the challenges, so that end is good. But I think there was something that happened last week. I forget what it was. I was like, "No, Joe, don't do that."
what did Joe do in the
I forget what it was though. Oh my gosh, I should have kept the notes. But I find that he's trying to find something that makes it that will work for him, whether that be, and he's kind of, it seems like Jason's kind of right too. Like he doesn't really have that partnership that he had with Eva to stick out now. So trying to find something else that works, but him being his moral character too is kind of not helping.
But what's gonna happen if him, Coach, and Jonathan hook up, right? You can say what you want about Coach, but Coach tries to live by a code, right? And I think Joe can respect that until Coach screws up and changes the code on him.
Coach lives by the code that's in his head, his inner monologue, and he's like, "Well, I never said, Ozzy, I was not going to do that, but I didn't tell you that either. I just was like, when that key was there,
I see through it. Don't talk to me. We're gonna get into it again, and it's gonna be a fist fight for the ages. And I can't wait till they're arguing with each other in the next time on Survivor, and then it turns out to be nothing.
I feel like Joe would do better with Colby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like they have the same kind of morality and same kind of character traits that I think they would just
on a heroes versus villains on a true. If Joe were to be on the heroes tribe, he probably would do better there, right? Although in that season the villains completely decimated the heroes because this is Survivor, and that's those kinds of traits go with it. The other thing I was thinking with Joe here was Joe seems to think, oh, Camilla lied to me in my season, and these people lied to me, and that's why I lost. And I agree with Jason that he didn't really learn the lessons of why it wasn't a winning season the last time he was there, even though he was a fan favorite when he played the first time.
Joe does a heel turn, I'm right with you, Becky. He's my new favorite guy. But if he keeps doing this weird thing where he's like holier than thou, and then he was twisting all of Devin's words back into his face, and Devin's just like, dude, I'm just trying to talk to you, and you're impossible to talk to right now, and just kind of stormed off because he couldn't, because Joe, when he's faced with his own morals, sometimes he crashes out because he's like, I don't know, he can't come to terms with the idea that you have to be cutthroat in Survivor, because it's a giant board game. It's like playing Monopoly with your family members. You got to be a little bit cutthroat. You got to make some side deals with your mom so your uncle is out of the game,
Right, exactly. That's exactly how I play. When I'm going for it, or the Jenga, for that matter.
Dirty Jenga, brother.
It's cutthroat Jenga. Okay. Just on these other tribes, we spent a lot here on I guess on Joe and the Orange tribe, and they've been to tribal twice. The Green tribe has not been to tribal yet. We saw here that Tiffany, no, not Tiffany, Chrissy rather. Chrissy is sort of not favored by who was it? Charlie was telling us in the episode. Charlie's like, yeah, Chrissy's. I would love to team up with this old lady, even though I don't know how old Chrissy really is.
Does he remember what happened last time with the old lady? She didn't vote for him at the
Yes.
end.
At the end, well, he wants to ride it for as long as he can, but he says no one on that tribe likes what Chrissy's doing. Well, what is Chrissy doing exactly? She's
Mothering them.
Just mothering everybody to a fault
Mm-hmm. So
in
I
an
don't know.
annoying way, not in like a fun way. In a like, please stop micromanaging my life. You're not my mother, kind of a way.
Yeah, so I don't know. Like, I just think it's like if Charlie's not down with Chrissy, I don't know who will be.
I don't think Jonathan has a problem because Chrissy hasn't told Jonathan to run up mountains. So Jonathan's like,
When I was a kid, my father made me go up the mountain twice. Yeah, well, speaking of, but the other members of this tribe, I don't know, Coach gave himself like cramps or something here in the episode with his calves. We got Jonathan fishing and feeding them out there. Mike White, I can't say
The
about Mike
best.
White.
his abs,
The best. The abs.
Mikey abs.
He's yoked up. He's 55 and yoked to the gills, buddy.
He
Looks
seems
good.
so much older to me than the last time he played,
Yeah.
which was like a decade ago.
Yeah.
But he's just
Speaking of that,
Yeah.
Colby.
No,
The first episode, Colby was like saying how like he's got like eye problems and he's like old and he's got like leg problems. Remember?
He's got
And
the
then
thing
you
with
got
this.
Ozzy
If I'm
saying that
leaning
too.
in and getting you to talk into one ear, it's because my other ear doesn't work.
yeah.
yeah.
Colby's not even the oldest person on this season. Like it's
Mike White?
Sari. Sari's
yeah,
the
Sari.
oldest.
Oh wow.
Sari, Chrissy, and Mike White are all 54, and then you got Coach is 53. 2 years younger than Coach is Colby at 51, who looks like he's
Wow.
fallen apart. Like he's been through the
Yeah.
ringer here.
Coach's 53 is the roughest of all of them, I would say. I
James
thought
like
for
53.
Yeah.
Coach is 53.
I thought that Coach was like he works out every day, but it's one of those things where inside his head, in his code, he's top of the mountain. But he went out and swam for 20 minutes and was locked up. And almost
Yeah,
drowned.
and like I was like, he should like when they had to like get him in that boat. I was like, no, this is Survivor. I'm
That's what I said to
hardcore.
my wife. I was like, boat.
He died out there. Sorry. He's like if Kyle died from the Achilles tendonitis or whatever happened to him, then so did Coach. Sorry, that's how it goes. Yeah, especially on this season where we can afford for like to lose people to a medical evacuation or
You get a
those kinds of
wrong
things.
season when people just drop episode after episode.
Yeah, we got 24 people here, right? But no, they get him out there. It's like luckily, yeah, my Jonathan was funny. Like, luckily, there's always these safety swimmers here to save the day. And like they have little dinghy boats.
Speaking of Jonathan, is it just me or is someone giving Jonathan oil so he can like oil up his body?
I'm
He's
glad.
Super shiny.
You like Joe, but I like Jonathan. Because I like wrestlers. I guess Joe. There's wrestlers that look like Joe, but Jonathan. Woo.
Actually, is a wrestler.
Mountain. As we
Is
call
he?
him over here.
Yeah, he was the protege of Lex Luger.
Oh, I probably knew that when his season was on.
Yeah, I don't know if he actively wrestles anymore. He's also been a bodyguard for like Roy Moore and some other people, but yes, that Roy Moore.
He's the Guinness Book of World Records for the most pull-ups with 100 pounds on his back.
Wow.
Well, we all have to have something. That makes us,
I don't want to take that that reward or record away from him, so he can have it. I'll give it.
yeah. Let somebody else have it. It's not fair.
He thinks that challenge though tonight though, like he was just plowing through it. Like you look over and like he's already through the net
He did a flip through the net.
with
He did
the
a flip
snake. It was like,
That looked like it was like straight out of a wrestling ring for me. I was like, there you go.
insane.
Although Jonathan says he wants to play different this season. Like last time he played like a dumb guy who doesn't know what's happening. He's like, this time I'm a dumb guy who doesn't know what's happening, but I'm not as loyal as you think. That was his pitch. So we're gonna see how it works out for Jonathan. And then there's a couple others. Camilla. Well, the only thing to say about Camilla tonight was that she was really sad. Kyle was out of the
that
game.
emotional.
She was sad about Kyle, and then she was cracking up with D about Coach when Coach was doing his monologue. She was literally like covering her mouth laughing.
Yeah, she was like, or Jeff's like, what's going on with you, Camilla? What do you think about your friend Kyle being voted out? It's so early. It's only day 5 and he's gone. And then that was it. And I'm like, all right. And apparently Kyle's okay. Kyle's is recovering. He's apparently going running soon, so we can rest easy on Kyle. He just won 2 years ago. He'll be okay. Just like, I guess Kyle's out, Savannah's out. Watch out, D. We'll see what happens to you here. I mean, winner.
When Ozzy came back, they got him out immediately because he's such a challenge beast. I'm surprised he's lasted this long. I thought the writing was on the wall for Ozzy tonight.
Has Ozzy ever won?
No, but he's gotten close a bunch of times.
Fans versus favorites, and was it fans versus favorites? And then also South Pacific, he was top 4.
He had the thing with Amanda and Parvati.
Yeah, but I think he got to 5 there. No, he got to final 3. I think he got to final.
Yeah,
3.
I thought that was 4 or 3 because I remember him being like, "So we're gonna date after this, right?" And Amanda's like, "No."
I think he got final 3 one time. He got top 5.
Ozzy?
Yeah, and then he got top 4 in South Pacific.
I heard also that Ozzy's been in pornos or something. Is that true?
Yes.
What?
Yeah, he's
look it up.
Ozzy's he's got it's a lucrative porno career. So if you want to check out Ozzy naked, it's out there, everyone. And we're not going to judge. Anyway, where do you segue for that? We're not even on that tribe right now. Purple tribe, green tribe, orange tribe. I don't know. That's covering it. Foster, I think this is a good segue to you. These challenges tonight, we had an immunity challenge and a reward challenge before that. How'd you feel that those went?
Well, after last week, and like I said, last week I thought was actually pretty decent. Like there was a little bit of change up, like a little bit of, I did enjoy the first one with, Aussie coach and stuff with the sticks through the, fence and everything. Right. And, I felt from my past, if you call them reviews or whatever, it was more positive last week. But this week was just terrible, in my opinion. Like both were, everything's been done before, nothing new. Like the most exciting part was the immunity challenge when Jonathan did that flip through the bungee cords. Like there was no, and again, like this is what really irks me is that, yeah, like first of all, change it, like actually do something different, but what they're not doing is they've done this for some of the endurance challenges is they tweak it to make it harder, right? And I don't understand where they're doing these kind of let's call it a relay type of challenge, and nothing is, I guess, different. Like there's not like instead of the circles in the reward challenge, make it like triangles. Like something super minuscule, like something so minor that it's going to make you actually think, when they're doing the snake rope, in the immunity challenge, make it 4 people.
Wasn't it just one snake the last time they did it though, and this time it was 3 snakes?
No. I meant like at the end. No. You may be right, but I'm talking about like at the end when they had to move the ball.
Right.
Like
okay.
So add a 4th person, not a 4th snake. Yeah. So it's just. Again, it's little things that could just, again, make the experience of watching it that much more enjoyable. And what kind of also baffles me as well is that, again, most of they've had in seasons past, I can't remember exactly which season it was, that like the one cast member was like, I've built all these in my backyard. Like you just 3D print them or whatever, right? So it's like, why would you not try to tweak things?
He can't play anymore. He can't play.
Yeah, well, but you're giving him that. It's like, I don't know if you've ever seen. There's a documentary about The Price is Right. I watched this. I don't know how many years ago, And apparently back in I can't remember when it was, 80s, 90s, whatever it was. I don't know. It was before the 2000s, I believe.
Before
And
you can remember.
yeah, but it was
Mhm.
a documentary I remember watching about 10 years ago on Netflix, whatever. And essentially, someone figured out that in The Price is Right, they were doing the exact same items all the time. And obviously, there's a lot of different items, but if you can memorize and figure out exactly what the prices are for every single item, regardless
Mm.
of what is, their inventory, you will know what to do. And this guy, like, pretty much, like, he was like testing himself, like it was like quiz in college or whatever. Like he was like, oh, like, what's this? And then he's like, blurred, like, like practicing, if you will. And he basically beat the system and forced them to change, right? Because it was so repetitive. And we've already seen that with Survivor, where someone has already come out and said, I built these in my backyard. And yeah, you can make like the foothold smaller. You can make it, again, a lot of the endurance ones is where you've seen the tweaks over the last number of recent seasons. But it's these relays that is just from a viewer perspective is like, oh, this again. Like
Mhm.
there's no like innovation to it, right? There's no, and again, like it's just that whole song and dance of they're literally just recycling their infrastructure and repainting it. So yeah, I was not too pleased with what I'm trying to say with this week's challenges because it was like literally like what we've seen before, and there's no change to. It's like, when they have these fields, these fields cleared, right? And I've thought about this before. Like they obviously have designated, you know, um, like challenge areas, throughout Fiji, whatever. And it's like they leave that challenge equipment there. Oh, we're going to use it that next season, kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
So, anyways, I guess again, I've said this so many times. It's so frustrating because, especially with 50, like in the hands of the fans, like like what's going on here?
Well,
Yeah,
if
you
it's
gotta wait for
why is it
the-
in your hands, Foster? Is what I'm wondering.
Yeah.
You could be the
It's
great.
Well, again, like and this is like shouldn't even be a vote. It should just be common sense, right? You're gonna add new idols. Well, that's very easy. You literally just write something different on a piece of paper, and there's no work involved. But you've been doing this for 49 seasons. Like you should be able to. And again, yeah, I'm tired of referencing the challenge because it's always new things, right? Always new, or they're tweaking challenges and stuff, right? So I don't understand why it's constantly a recycle, copy and paste, and then you wonder why you have a challenger however many seasons ago saying, "Yeah, I've literally done these in my backyard."
Yeah, I agree that the innovation is lacking. Like I think when we see like a slightly new challenge, like we're like, ooh, like that's slightly different or slightly outside what we've seen before. But and they've decided, okay, we don't want to do this kind of challenge anymore, and we don't want to do that kind of challenge anymore for this reason or that reason because, and I think some of those reasons are good. Like they don't do like the like who can eat the gross stuff challenge or
Yeah.
whatever,
The
who
water.
they don't
Waterboard
do
challenge.
the water one. They don't do the one where they used to like have to wrestle each other off on top of a platform.
Which
And a
I
lot of
would
these other
do again.
the physical challenges, they've done away with those used to be really entertaining, and they mixed it up.
Oh my god.
I
Right,
really liked the like sort of European handball, like basketball, with where they're up to like their waist in water, but they would just get too violent, I think.
right. It would be like it would become like sports, but it's sports for $1 million basically. And I don't know, like does that happen on the challenge, Foster? Like because like these are actually people who have to like go at it more directly, right? Because
Yeah, it's very common. Like not in every challenge, but again, the big difference, and I've mentioned this before, is that like they don't vote people out. They vote people into what's called an elimination. And they're not what they're called as like headbangers, like when it's very physical. They're not always like that. There's puzzles, there's endurance, like there's a lot of different aspects that aren't going head to head in that regard. But there is like the one you said, there's going to be like a week challenge, where they're like throwing balls and like trying to like collide, you know what I mean? But again, I as we're talking about this, I'm thinking about it, and it's very it's not like it's not been clear before, right? But like their focus is on, the tribals. Their focus is on the cast. They're focused on the interactions and stuff, right? And the challenges are just a way to progress in the game. They're focused on the idols and stuff, right? So it's not prioritizing the challenges, which, especially with the immunity challenges, individual, those are more crucial in terms of as it relates to the game. But it's again like it's definitely not a priority is what I'm saying for them in terms of making an actual effort, to be honest, not even more of an effort, making an actual effort to do something different.
Yeah, we've had this discussion, various versions of it before, but I think like they're there in Fiji and they're kind of doing what they're doing now. And I don't know, when they had to go to different locations, they had to challenge themselves a little bit more to do some different things.
It could be that the stuff is already out there and they can't really deviate too much. Fiji's like pretty hard to get stuff to and from, I would imagine. I'm just kind of playing devil's advocate. I fully agree.
No, that's why I said that's why I made the point of like, yeah, they have to clear the field, they have to set it up. So like, why would you just leave it, repaint it? You know what I mean? Like it's not. I like it's a really good point, Jason. Like bringing all that and stuff, right? Like and trying to rejig and what have you, right? But again, but then it's clear there's like no effort. Like that's why I said like make the circle a triangle. Like it's
also
it's
been
so
worse.
dumb.
It has been worse where the games were like carbon copies of the same games. At least the last 2 seasons had some like new games introduced, which I appreciated. And I will say that like not everybody is testing or building those games in their backyard. So when there's a game that requires 3 people to play it, like tonight with the Move the Circle, I know that's a classic Survivor game, but if they just had more games that required multiple people, you wouldn't be able to practice it at home. So that plays a factor into switching it up too. But like if I have to see them jump off the thing and smash the thing when they jump off the thing again, it's like they just do that every season and it doesn't really take any.
The only reason why I feel like they do that one is so that they have footage for the opening. You know,
right.
when you're like, oh
yeah. That's a good point. And then Aubrey whiffs it like 5 times somehow.
That was well. I honestly, I'm surprised that they did not lose, right? And speaking to like next week when they do the tribe swap and stuff, it was my first reaction was they did that because I can't remember the name of the tribe, but the tribe lost twice in a row, and they're like, okay, we can't have this for 50. Yeah. We can't have this for 50. We can't have a 3rd straight loss.
Especially
we need to change the tribes now.
With Ozzy and Suri on it, like it's just gonna pick them all off.
Well, I had thought of this earlier. I thought of a really good pop culture reference to Ozzy and Suri, right? And I don't know if any of you are Seinfeld fans or have not seen the series, where there's an episode where Jerry and George are basically like dating the same girl. Right. And Jerry's just like, we can do this together and we can be one we can be one man. Yeah. Right. Like it's because like they're saying they're both like half men. Like they're not like they can't do the effort of like one actual person. And that's what Suri and Ozzy are. Suri is the social, Ozzy's the physical, athletic, and together they make one ultra Survivor player.
Well, I'm glad that they teamed up. I actually was like, that makes so much sense to me, seeing them be each other's kind of ride or die right now.
Yeah. What was even the reward challenge for? What was the reward?
Tarp and amenities like tarp and hammock.
Okay. And yeah, that was very forgettable in that sense. Did you have a preference between these 2 challenges tonight, Foster?
Man, it's been I've got a lot to say about the challenges tonight. Eh? What a great segment. Eh?
I'm giving you all the time tonight. Yeah, here you go. Challenge
again. Just
2 challenges.
Just based on just based on Jonathan's flip, we're gonna go with the reward challenge.
He
Sorry, not the
also
reward challenge, the
knocked.
immunity challenge. Sorry.
He knocked the air out of his lungs so bad. My wife was like, "Is he out? Is he gonna get medvac?" And I was like, "No." When he did that flip, he knocked the air out of his lungs, and he's just recovering because I don't know if you've ever taken a flat back bump.
After Colby like yanked that thing through on his own, he was like gassed. He was keeling over. So again, I thought it was really like some of these like older, like I mean, Jonathan is not older in terms of like the seasons, but it's funny seeing some of these guys' efforts and you know, and but yeah, again, like if I'm gonna preference it, yeah, that was by far much better than the reward challenge.
My favorite was just watching them drag these big snakes, I guess, across the ground. That was all I was up for tonight.
And it was always like the most jacked person doing all the work, and then the other person just kind of like holding the back of the tail behind them, like I'm helping.
Well, there was what was it, Rizzo, and I can't remember who his partner was, and that's what they got behind. Just absolutely just doing so. Rizzo and Genevieve. They could not even like that's not a pair. But again, like you could tell who the other pairs were, and they had limited options, right? So,
okay, just so obviously, like there was that whole thing. Purple tribe, even though they lost the reward, they win this here at the immunity. Then green catches up here, and it's ultimately, you can blame Christian, you can blame Suri, you can blame Ozzy for who messes up that snake challenge, but they ultimately orange tribe loses, and that sends them to tribal tonight, where it was looking like it might be Ozzy, but then ultimately it kind of shifted to Savannah pretty quickly because Suri pulled those, and Savannah figured it out. She's like, I think Suri is protecting Ozzy, and they're like, yeah, probably, but we don't know you as well, Savannah. And so,
did it look like Ozzy though?
Maybe for a minute. Like that's who was it on Orange?
I thought it was
Emily was talking about Ozzy, right? And if Emily could have got Christian and Devins, because they're kind of an alliance, if she could have got those two on board, then you get Savannah, you can get Ozzy out, right? But that Suri was able to kind of flip that, pretty, and then that's where Ozzy gives us these confessionals. It's like Suri is an expert in strategy. And that's not my game, and Suri even uses that, like his social game sucks. He doesn't know what he's doing. He's all challenges. Like, why would you can't get rid of Ozzy? Let's get rid of Savannah. We just met her 5 minutes ago. Like and she won her season. She just won, like there are reasons to get her out. I gotta be like, why don't we vote out Suri? But that was never on the table in this discussion here.
Look, if they vote out Ozzy, Suri's gonna go, shucks. Right?
No, like Jonathan Stein versus Godzilla Fall 2026. Hello there.
Hello there.
Hello there. Are you doing Survivor? No, you're not doing Star Wars tomorrow, right? You're doing Scream.
No, we finished. Yeah, Scream 2. We finished Star Wars. Thank God. You ever talk about 17 hours of movies on a podcast? It's 4 movies, and most podcasts are like 1 hour long.
Yeah, every time I do your podcast, I'm like, that was exhausting, but tons of fun. But
it's fun.
It's fun.
Well,
I'm excited about tomorrow's episode because I am a big Scream 2 fan, and I think I might send in a video for my shout out.
Please do. Please do.
Talk about that.
Scream 2. Yeah, it's not. I prefer Scream 1, but it's a classic. Anyway,
but now we have Scream 3 in existence and Scream 7 in existence. And Scream 2 is looking pretty good.
Scream 2 is looking pretty good.
Forget all of that. Look at Scary Movie 6. Oh my goodness, that's gonna just cancel the cancel culture, as one of the Wayans brothers I saw said, right? So that's where, don't talk about Scream, talk about
go woke, go broke.
Okay, well, just to eulogize Savannah, let's just have a quick look here.
Playing on season 50 with all of these epic players in this epic season, there's no other way I would want to go. It has been so humbling, not only to be asked to be part of something that's so much greater than myself, but also very humbling to have gotten got by some of these incredible players. I had the best experience and I gave it my all, and that's all I can ask for.
I love Joe spelling. Savannah.
Savannah, he was the best spelling for Savannah, definitely. Savannah.
And very nice that Savannah gave Ozzy a little Ozzy Osbourne kind of love.
Yeah, you know, like I'm a fan of Savannah. Like, you know, she was my pick last season. I picked her again this season, hoping for back-to-back luck. Didn't work out here. I get why she, you know, her being, you know, her and Rizzo being the two players that no one really knows this season, like coming into it. You know, she's not she's an easy vote in a lot of ways. You know, the two. A member of Team Jane and Dave goes out here. One of our three ladies. We still got D, the other past winner, and Stephanie, who I didn't know was MAGA before I picked her. So,
that's fine.
I talked about it last episode.
It's been controversial all week on the Twitter sphere, and I was like, wow.
Yeah, and then her whole feud there with Eliza.
Yeah, well, that's where it all stems from, right?
Yeah, but anyway. And Stephanie's married to some baseball player too. No, like a pitcher on the Phillies.
She married to Brad Culpepper? No,
that's somebody else.
Monica.
Oh yeah, fuck you, Brad Culpepper. Excuse my language.
Oh, I guess her husband retired from baseball. He's not playing anymore, but he did play for the Phillies and the Rockies and the Red Sox.
Not the Dodgers.
Not the Dodgers. Nope. Yeah. Anyway, so bye, Savannah. Well, you know, maybe she'll play again, but you know, she got $1 million. She'll be okay. What else? We can talk about the next episode next time here on Survivor. Looking ahead to the next episode, it is called "Did You Vote for a Tribe Swap?" Here. Oh, sorry, I didn't click the button. There it is.
It's time to drop your bomb. We are switching tribes. Next time on Survivor. Paul! Right on the noggin.
Aubrey said that to you?
Screw them all.
Why, Emily? It's insanity.
I thought Christian already dropped his butt.
Christian, drop your butt. We didn't touch on the fact that Christian did send that boomerang idol to Aubrey, and it looks like Christian and Aubrey are going to end up on the same tribe here.
Which is hilarious after they checked Aubrey's bag to see if she had.
And after they went through her bag,
I asked my wife, I was like, "Are we doing like a time jump thing here where we're supposed to realize that?" And she was like, "No, that's just coincidence."
Oh, okay, yeah, just the fact that they. Do you think that Aubrey knew that they went through her bag?
They didn't. Well, they didn't telegraph it at all. They didn't be like, "Somebody's been going through my bag."
Becky, what was your reaction? If Becky's with you, there still. To Colby saying, like, in my real life, I'm an honorable man, but in Survivor, I'm not. I will go through a woman's bag. You know. Okay. Well, give her a second to ponder on that. Foster, do you think Colby's got honor?
Yeah, hell of a lot more than Coach.
Hell of a lot more than Coach. Understatement.
He doesn't say it every 12 seconds. You know, when he's the.
Doesn't say it.
You know,
well,
if you have honor, you don't have to say it. You know, every single chance you get.
Coach always be selling. You know. Oh. Just I was hanging on the edge of my seat, and then
there's a found footage movie happening over on Becky and Jaemeel's.
Sorry, what did you guys ask?
Sorry.
I asked about Colby going through the bag, and him saying, "Well, in my normal life, this would be against my Colby code of honor, but in Survivor, I'm willing to go through this Aubrey's bag here."
Oh, for Colby, I guess because he's
Yeah.
like, I don't know, so like more. I feel like he's like a moral character too, right? And for him
Normally.
to go out of go through her bag, it's out of character for him. So I don't know. Could be
He was a hero on
Mhm.
Heroes versus Villains. However, Stephanie was also a hero on Heroes versus Villains. So let's just also always put everything through that lens.
It wasn't in your nose.
It felt like it.
Well, it was a found footage movie. It's like Blair Witch, where she's like,
Sorry.
So scared.
Anyway, yeah. What else? Was there anything else in that next time on Survivor that stood out to you? Other than
I
Joe
don't trust
Biden
those.
thing.
I don't trust them.
Joe with that
What's
face. His, like,
Joe with that face, Joe looking shocked. Joe, yeah, okay, that's what he was doing. He was doing the Joe. Well, Joe is easy to trigger, and I think that like some of these new school, or I guess the old school players more specifically, like they're like, we're not here to play your game, Joe, and everyone have to play around him. So they didn't vote him out here. They thought it was better to vote out Savannah than Joe, but like I don't know. I'm like well, seemed like they had all the reason to vote out Joe. I guess other than challenges, which don't matter now. They didn't know the tribe swap was coming. So anyway, I guess if you don't know a tribe swap's coming, it makes more sense to keep Joe. But on the other hand, I would vote out Celia over Savannah if I were them. But what do I know? So do you guys, well, Jason, I just want to ask you, are you liking this Billie Eilish Boomerang Idol twist?
Listen, the celebrity, it reminds me of WrestleMania, where the celebrities come out for the big event. Do I think Billie Eilish sat down and wrote out that piece of paper in any capacity? Definitely not. If she doesn't show up on the show, I think it's stupid that they even bother doing this cross promotion. But if she pops out on the island and says, "Hi guys, it's me, Billie Eilish," I'm gonna stand up and give a standing ovation to Survivor, because Mr. Beast is coming out to this island. We
know Mr. Beast is coming
with one of his Beast Games briefcases, and I'll be stoked. I hate
Jimmy
that
Kimmel.
guy, but
Jimmy Kimmel's coming.
Yeah.
Jimmy Kimmel, bring the celebrities out like it's WrestleMania for season
Is
50.
Sia coming? Is Sia coming near the end?
Maybe.
She's like, no, you've taken all my money already. I have no Sia money left. So I've given it all to
Wasn't Sia
Survivor.
in the audience one time at the
LA premiere, and then she gave, who was that guy's name?
It was Korong, and she gave
go back
Ty.
Ty. It was like, she's like, Ty,
Oh
because
yeah.
Ty saved the chicken, right? And then she was like, I want to give you money, and then she just started giving out money every year. It was like Sia money every season, and then she's like, no, I'm out of money.
It kind of feels like a plug too. Like when they find the idol, they're like, "Oh, Billie Eilish! I guess she's such a big part of it, like a big fan." Like, and both of them verbatim have said the exact same thing.
That's a good observation. Yeah.
Interesting. If it's like a plug or
We need a Data Carvey type of Mr. Yum. This idol is presented by Data Carvey in the Mr. Yum restaurant. Like something absurd.
Yeah. Well, I don't know where to segue from there. It's something else, I tell you. Okay, well, we can probably wrap up here for tonight, unless there's anything else on this season or these two episodes. Tomorrow on Hey, Did You See This One? As mentioned, Scream 2.
We begin our spring grimoire of familiar killers, and we're up to, I think this is the 8th or 9th time we've been doing this. We've cycled out of, there's no more Freddy Krueger and no more Chucky, so we've added Scream, and next week we're adding the Alien franchise. So the Xenomorph is the new familiar killer. Yes, tomorrow night we're talking Scream 2. We did Scream 1, and it was a fantastic episode. We have guest Ben Mason coming back, who ushered in the new Scream generation. He's coming back to talk about Scream 2. He's such a fan of Scream that for the foreseeable future, he'll probably just be covering that movie specifically, kind of like our friend Craig came and did most of the Nightmares on Elm Street. So look out for that. It's going to be a great show. We go live each and every week at 8 p.m. Eastern on Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook. And we just crossed 1,400 subs on YouTube. So
Wow.
pretty big.
Biggest
Pretty big
channel in the
milestone.
network, I think. And,
Get that silver YouTube play
Get
bucket.
that money. vidIQ says that if once we're monetized, we can make between $12 and $70 a month. So hopefully, I can buy a pizza.
And you can split that both two ways with you. And,
with me and Steven Waters, my co-host.
Right.
I'm also just a programming note. I have a son on the way. Okay.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, congratulations.
My wife is pregnant. It's due in July. This isn't like an announcement. I'm just saying this because I'm taking kind of a backseat where I don't. I normally Sherpa us through the movies. Steven's going to kind of take that over. So when I have to kind of step away a little bit, the show will go on, but he'll sort of be more of the face, and I'll just be the guy holding a baby. Like, okay, I gotta go. So,
well, you need to groom your protege. You need to make sure that he's well fed and well attended to. Because he will take up the mantle one day.
Exactly.
And just,
when we have 3,000 subscribers.
And then take it to that point where he's making $100 a month, because that's only but that's still gonna buy you only one pizza in the future because the inflation.
Exactly. My half of the share is gonna go into his college fund, and then he's not going to college, so.
Well, we can't control what we're born to. Check out also our Live Long and Podcast Star Trek channel. Jaemeel hosting tomorrow for Starfleet Academy season 1 episode 9. He's excited for it. It's called 300th Night. I'm curling tomorrow. You can host, right?
Wow. Yeah. Let's we could talk about that offline.
We could talk about that offline. And then on Monday, give me the Joe eyes. And then on Monday, we'll be on Star Trek: The Next Generation. The next episode we're covering over there, Sarek. Sarek. He's Spock's dad. He's here. He's got Ben Dye syndrome. It gets weird. So check that out. All right. Well, I got a clip here for you to I thought it was amusing. We'll play that out here for the ending. Thanks to the whole panel. Thanks to Becky, Foster, Jaemeel, Jason, and everyone out there watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, and check us out here on Super Mario Brothers Podcast every Wednesday for Survivor 50. And we'll end with this one.
Let's go! Come on, Survivor 50. Get it on. Come on, join me.
Beam up some Star Trek content with Live Long and Podcast. A roundtable movie discussion with Hey, did you see this one? And take a peek into the darkness with Heard Noise, Must Investigate with Michael Chan. Watch us duke it out on trivial debates. And let's chat about TV with the Super Mario Brothers. It's all here on the United Federation of Podcasts.